All right. Quarterback Trevor Knight, questions. Start here on the right side middle. Ben?
I think the real question, Trevor, is are you having a good night?
I'm having a great night.
Why is that?
Well, the Aggies won. I don't know if y'all saw that, but the Aggies got a win tonight, and it was just a fun night for us. Got to make a bunch of big plays. A lot of different guys got to play. Got to see Jake in there a lot, and that was exciting. And then, obviously, the crowd favorite there at the end, McQueen, and he had a big run as well. And so that's fun stuff. That's fun stuff for me and fun stuff for our ball team.
Right up front, Christy?
You always talk about how you're not worried about the opponent. It's just about getting better as a team. Do you feel like y'all did that tonight?
Absolutely. We started really fast. That first drive may have been our best drive of the season, to be honest, and that was good. And then had a few things here and there that we were a little sloppy on. We kind of got lax, to be honest, and can't let that happen. And we talked about that pretty detailed at halftime that we can't keep doing that. But then came out in the second half and had a couple quick scores there, and we beat a team that we were supposed to beat, and we made a bunch of big plays that we were supposed to make. And the message after the game still was we can be sharper, we can be better. Still haven't played our best game of football yet, and got a big one next week, another conference game, and on the road, our last road game. So it's going to be a big one for us.
Right up front, Travis.
In that same vein of what you talk about of getting better each week, how important was it for you tonight to post a little bit better completion percentage against a team like New Mexico State?
I don't look at the stats necessarily, but the stats do reflect your play, and I do need to do a better job of getting the ball in our receivers' hands and keeping us on schedule. And so I haven't seen the numbers for tonight, but I would imagine they were a little bit higher than normal, and that's big. I hope that down this back stretch that we're just sharper, and if we're sharper, my completion percentage will probably go up.
Right up front on the right side, Christy.
How impressed were you by what Christian Kirk did tonight?
On one side, really impressed. On the other side, that's what the kid does. He's an incredible player. He's an incredible athlete, and you give him a little bit of space, he's going to make things happen, which he's done all year when he's had the ball in his hands. It hasn't been some of the flashier plays, but he's running around people and making big plays all year, and he's one of those guys that you get the ball in his hands, something good is going to happen. So really proud of him and excited for him, too. I think it said that he was the first Aggie ever to return 2 in a game, so that's a cool accomplishment for him.
Right side, Ben.
In practice, throughout the year, and I guess also tonight, what have you seen out of Jake that'll put him in a good position to compete for the starting role next year?
Jake is such an even-keeled guy, and being in his position last year, he handles it so well. I know the frustrations that come with that. I know the day-to-day where you're not getting all the reps and you're kind of sitting off the side. I know that frustrates him sometimes, but he handles it with such class. Jake's one of my best friends on this team, and it's funny. I look back over my career, and at the beginning it was me and Blake Bell, and me and Blake Bell were really good buddies. And then it was me and Cody Thomas. Me and Cody Thomas still talk on the phone, every day, every other day. And now, me and Jake, we're great buddies as well. And that's I truly believe that's what you need in the quarterback room. Guys that are pulling for each other, guys that are going to make each other better. And Jake is that guy. He wants to be a coach. He's a really smart player, and he's going to do a great job down the line coaching because he understands the game, and he helps me out a lot on the sidelines.
Back row, Sam, by the fedora.
Trevor, what do you make of the kind of reception that Connor McQueen gets when he comes in at quarterback?
I mean, that's Connor McQueen, and I said it last time he got in there early on in the season that he's one of the best teammates that you'll ever come around because he's always bought in. He's not going to get in the game all that much. He understands that. He knows his role as the placeholder, and he plays that really well and does a great job there. But everybody loves him because he puts everything he has into everything he does. And that's one of the guys that I'll look back and say that was one of the best teammates I've ever played with. And I mean, I may be a little crazy for this, but when he broke that run there at the end, it seemed a little louder there than any point in the season this year, and there was, a fourth of the fans. So that's really cool. People are waving their towels and everything when he goes in, and it's well-deserved because he's incredible.
The right side, Olin, you'll wrap us up, and we'll have Christian Kirk.
Trevor, listen, we know that y'all talk about it's about yourself and all those things, but I have to ask, have y'all started scoreboard watching yet? And if not, when do you think you will to look at the other teams and around the nation that that y'all have to move ahead of to get back into the playoff consideration?
You know, there is a side of it to where, you know, you're watching who wins and loses, but if we don't take care of our business, we're not going to be in the conversation at the end anyways. And so, yeah, as a fan, kind of you look at, you know, who's beating who and where's the matchups, and you may play a little into, you know, oh, well, so-and-so lost who was undefeated. That gives us a good shot. But if we don't take care of what we need to take care of down the stretch, we're not even going to be in the conversation anyways. And so I think that our whole team has bought in really well to the idea of, let's play this week. It's about us, you know, 1 week better. And if we continue to do that, we'll put together a good stretch down the end here.
Are you aware of anything that happened nationally today?
I wasn't. Early on in the day, I watched Oklahoma State. They got a big win over West Virginia, but besides that, not really much.
All right. Thanks for